Days of Our Lives Performer of the Week, Stacy Haiduk as Kristen DiMera. Days of Our Lives actress Stacy Haiduk ran a gamut of emotions this week as her character, Kristen DiMera, made the difficult decision to take her brother, Peter, off life support and watched him miraculously survive. Then, she learned he died, and so, she planned revenge against another sibling. Soap Central bestows Performer of the Week honors on Haiduk for her emotionally wrought performances. Salem University Hospital is a place where people are supposed to go to get well, not have the emotional life sucked out of them. But that's what happened to Kristen when she checked in as a patient to deal with injuries she sustained when her brother, Peter, kidnapped Kristen and her other brothers and her nephew, Theo, Tyler Joseph Andrews, locking them in the DiMera crypt. In self-defense, Kristen struck Peter with a large bone to save the lives of everyone involved. Peter's injuries resulted in him needing to go off life support. Ironically, Kristen, Peter's blood sibling, was charged with signing off on the machines being turned off so he could pass peacefully into the next realm. First, Kristen went to his bedside to tell her brother how she felt. While Kristen acknowledged she had other DiMera brothers, she and Peter, adopted by Stefano, Joe Mascolo, but she and Peter were biologically related. "You're my flesh and blood," Kristen shared. Acknowledging that this could be his time, Kristen said she'd need to have faith as she sent him back home where he belonged. Alone with Peter, Kristen was stunned that Peter regained consciousness long enough to tell his sister that he'd see her in hell. She lamented later that it might have been better had he not had the surge in which he spoke such hurtful words. Kristen was comforted by Dr. Kayla Brady Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, who, like Dr. Tom Horton, MacDonald Carey, was before her, the heart and soul of the hospital, and her brother, Chad, Billy Flynn. But it wasn't until Kristen was visited by lawman Rafe Hernandez, Galen Gearing, that Kristen exhibited a sign that she had something to live for. Initially, Rafe failed to make Kristen feel better. But then he reminded her that his sister, Ariana Lindsay Hartley, had died in the same hospital. Rafe tried to comfort Kristen by telling her it took time, but he realized that Ariana's death was not his fault. He hoped that Kristen would come to the same conclusion someday. Mustering a half smile, Kristen told Rafe that his words weren't of much comfort. Then, she shared with the detective that there was something that would make her feel better. Rafe asked what that was, and Kristen said, "Revenge." Haiduk used a tone in Kristen's voice that chilled us to the bone as she added that she wanted revenge against her brother. A confused Rafe wondered if she meant Peter. "I'm not talking about Peter," said Kristen as Haiduk gave a cryptic tone to her voice. "I'm talking about EJ, Dan Feuerriegel," she clarified, referring to the man who has brought many pains and problems to Rafe's life. With that, Kristen turned her gaze to Rafe, knowing that she had a kindred spirit in the room with her, despite that you probably can't find two people in Salem who are more opposite than Rafe and Kristen are when it comes to moral behavior. "It occurs to me that we have that in common," Kristen said with a calculating tone to her voice. "You want to crush him just as much as I do," Kristen said. "I know you do. So why don't we work together?" Rafe suggested to Kristen that she call him should she recall anything else that happened in the crypt during her captivity. "So, that's not exactly a no," Kristen pointed out with a great deal of gravitas in her voice. Kristen feels horrific and is in the depths of despair over the death, or is that death, of Peter. However, the character's plan for revenge has given her the strength to rise, dare we say, like a phoenix from the ashes. Brava to Stacy Haiduk for imbuing her character with a sister's love and a burning desire for revenge. Catch all new episodes of Days of Our Lives weekdays on Peacock, NBC's streaming platform.